Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Before we preview Carolina, I want to have a quick look back at week one. Look, a win is a win is a win in the NFL, of course. What was your biggest takeaway from the week one win in the Dome?
Well, the funny thing is, so we do this thing called 3 up and 3 down, and we all had this list of like 14 players we were up on and only a couple down. So you would think the score wasn't 16-15, but I mean, everyone on defense played lights out. Derek Carr, made the plays he had to make. All three receivers are the top three receivers you feel really good about. But the run game was really disturbing, and obviously Trevor Penning and the pass protection really struggled. And so this would have been a really, really tough loss to take with like four takeaways if they had not pulled out the victory. But yeah, you get the win, you feel really good about it. I mean, I said I'm sure on your show last week, because I said it everywhere, that I wouldn't have even given either of these teams any points. I thought it was a pretty evenly matched game, and it certainly played out that way. This was a real opponent, they say.
I got to ask you about Trevor Penning, who I'm sure was on the not good. You're a good person, a good resource to tap into this because you've covered the team for so long. But give me some context on his struggles week one and how he might be able, like a reason for optimism that he might actually be able to work through this.
Yeah, I mean, left tackle's a tough position. It's a position where guys don't necessarily always start in week one. One of the best left tackles that's ever come through here, Teron Armstead, did not get the start until week 15 of his rookie year, and he gave up some sacks in that first game. Now, obviously, I'm not exonerating him by saying that's what always happens, but, they had the second-round pick, Charles Brown. I remember he took a little while. Jamal Brown was an early first-round pick who got to play early, but, it's a position where it doesn't happen overnight, and it is, if you're looking for the optimism, it's his second career start. His entire rookie season was wiped away, and all of OTAs and minicamp were wiped away this year by injury. So there's inexperience, there's catching up to game speed, not to mention that he came from Northern Iowa in the first place. So all of that is to be expected. What was disturbing is just, we saw it in the preseason. He's struggling with speed rushers, and just to have a speed rusher just, tee off on him over and over again without him seeming to have a counterpunch was really disturbing. But, it can only go up from here. The talent, the massive size, the physicality. He did play pretty well in that other start at the end of last season. So there are still reasons to be optimistic, but the question is, how quick does it get here, and how big of a problem does this remain? Because that's not a position you can mess around with.
Well, another first-round pick that has been disappointing, mostly due to injuries, is right back where we all anticipate he would be with Peyton Turner, unfortunately. So Peyton Turner's out. What do you make of what the Saints did to try to supplement there this week, and what options might still be ahead?
Yeah, I still like the depth as it is now. If you can go into every game with what you have now, Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson starting, Tano Passanio coming off the bench, Brian Brzee playing in that NASCAR package that sometimes Peyton Turner would have played in. Now Brzee, a tackle, can play in it. This speeds up Isaiah Foskey's curve. I think he's the same conversation that we're having about Trevor Penning right now. He's not there yet, but can he get there quickly if he gets the snaps? But yeah, they certainly can't afford to lose another body there now. And the thing about Peyton Turner was, the production has never been there consistently for him, so it's not like they lost these 12 sacks that they were counting on that they've had before, but optimism was really high. He looked really good all offseason. I disagree with the premise that we all knew he was going to end up here. Sometimes injuries, it's the same injury over and over again. With him, it was a little bit of bad luck, and now it's turf toe. It just really stinks. He had stayed healthy the entire offseason. I thought he was going to be a productive member of this group. So I like their top three there. I like that they have already tried to replace Peyton Turner by drafting a guy with the 40th overall pick this year, and he'll be part of the mix now. But it's frighteningly thin now. They can't afford any more.
Just to clarify, when I said we all knew he'd end up here, whenever we saw the reports about turf toe and the surgery, that he was going to go to IR, and you were going to have a solution now until what, week 11, week 12?
At the earliest, probably. I think Trevor Penning played in his first game in week 12 last year, and he got hurt at the end of the preseason, and they compared it to that. So, hopefully in December, but potentially not at all this season.
On Twitter, at Mike Triplett, of course, neworleans.football. Check out all the content there. Our chats every Thursday with Mike are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. So they turn the page to Monday Night Football, and they go up to Carolina. They lost there a year ago in a really weird game before they went to London, as we all remember. What? How do you feel generally about this team? It's not generally, but going to Carolina and facing Bryce Young, a rookie quarterback, in his home opener, first time on Monday Night Football. Just the whole circumstance surrounding this game.
Well, it's funny. When the schedule came out, we did a podcast the day before the schedule came out, and we said, pick the ideal home opener, And I said, I kind of think maybe at Carolina would be the best way to open the season before they get their footing, before they become what they could become, because obviously it's still a really talented defense, and that it's a really good defensive front with Brian Burns and Derek Brown and old friend Shy Tuttle. They won't have J.C. Horn on that defense, but I think they could be real competition in the division if they come along at a faster pace than expected. But they totally rebuilt the offense. Bryce Young is not only a rookie quarterback; he's a rookie quarterback surrounded by no proven talent anywhere practically. So I think it's a good time to get that team. And then I feel that way even more so after watching them in week one. They struggled quite a bit against Atlanta. So it feels like the right time to get them. But it's never that easy going into Carolina in week 2 on a Monday night. The Saints always stink when they go into Carolina in September, it feels like. So you'd like to be able to steal this one while Carolina's not ready to win. It's a game they should win. I feel even better about the matchup than I did about last week's matchup, but it's never easy to go on the road in Monday Night Football in week 2 against anybody, but it's an opponent, especially with J.C. Horn out. They better take advantage of that.
The Saints are a 3-point favorite in this game. Is there a matchup on Monday night that you think is a problem for New Orleans?
Yeah. I mean, other than Trevor Penning and Brian Burns, which we kind of just talked about, the run game and the Saints offensive line really stunk in the first game. Not only was Derek Carr under constant pressure, but they couldn't run at all. And so it just felt like they were in 3rd and 10 the entire game, if not 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 15. And now they're going up against another good defensive line. So whatever they figured out that they weren't doing in the run game, they got to figure out in a hurry. Now, I think they should have the players to do that. Eric McCoy and Cesar Ruiz and James Hurst and Ryan Ramczyk. It's the starting 5 they want to have out there. They're all healthy. They've all been together all month. So, some of that is week 1 problems, but some of it is it better be a skill set they're better at. Kendry Miller is back in practice today. I don't know if he'll be able to play or if he'll be full speed. Obviously, Alvin Kamara won't be back, but that run game against Carolina's front has to be better than it was last week.
He is Mike Triplett, again, neworleans.football, on Twitter at Mike Triplett, or X, whatever you want to say, at Mike Triplett, to follow all this stuff there. Give me a key, Mike. I know we just talked about the matchup that may be a problem, but what do the Saints have to do to go win the game, aside from, score more points?
Yeah, well, they have to not let Carolina score at all. The Saints defense was so good in week 1, and now they're playing a much less established offense. They can't let Bryce Young feel comfortable. They need to make him feel they need to do the same thing. Stop the run with Miles Sanders, the veteran, so that this game has to be in Bryce Young's hands. And maybe he'll look like 15-year veteran Ryan Tannehill if that happens. I was stunned that the game was in Ryan Tannehill's hands, so they'd love to put the ball in Bryce Young's hands. And then on the other side of the ball, Derek Carr throwing to all 3 of those receivers was 3 pluses across the board. Chris Olave, Michael Thomas and Rashid Shaheed, and now they lose their number one corner as you go into this matchup. They got to take advantage of that matchup as well.
Bombs away, for sure. Mike Triplett's with us every single Thursday. Mike, we appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.